Hello, and welcome to something different, special. This was a milestone award or reward for the charity campaign I ran for the LGBT Foundation. I'm going to be ranking Cybernetics today. I'm going to split these up into different videos, so I'll be doing Cybernetics and mutations separately. I want to say this right away. Do not take this as gospel in any way, sense, shape, or form. I am very, very bad at recognizing value in items in Caves of Cud. I have historically always overlooked one thing or another, and I tend to always miss some kind of stat or represented benefit for any kind of cybernetic mutation item even, and I've historically always overlooked items that I thought were kind of trash or garbage, and found out later that they were actually quite good. However, with that being said, you know, this was a milestone award, so I'm going to be doing this anyway, but I just wanted to, I really can't stress that enough. This is like my very, very bad opinion basis for for appreciating different cybernetics. I'll do that warning for the mutations as well, because I know some people are going to watch one and not the other, but if you watch both, don't be surprised if you hear me do, you know, say much the same for the other one. Mutations, and even for like defects and stuff like that, I'm just very bad at overlooking stuff. It's a marvel that I am in any way good at this game at all. So I've split this up. I've done just SAB, you know, and then also have never and would never take, as well as have never and will never. Sorry, have never and would take, and then have never and will never take. So there are some cybernetics that I've just never used, and probably it's because I've read their description and I find their use case to be so specific and not very helpful that I will basically never take them. So it's not fair to rank them, but also I want to give an explanation as to why I've never taken them. But there are some very small cases of cybernetics that I have never taken, maybe because I've always found them in the early or late game, and just never ended up using them because I had better stuff at the time, but I would take them if I found them early enough. So that's the, you know, why I've gone ahead and done this. So I'm going to be going through these in order. I wish that I'm very grateful to have found this tier list. Apparently someone just went ahead and made the tier list, you know, available. So, but these are not labeled. So I have on my second monitor the list, and they are in alphabetical order on this list. So the first one is air current microsensor. Air current microsensor is one I have never taken, but I would take it. Apparently this does reveal staircases and other up-down map transitions, and I think that is actually quite useful. I would take that. That is actually very useful in a lot of specific cases, so I would take that. That sounds actually very useful. Next up, we've got anchor spikes. Now, if I recall, you cannot be forced to move by physical means. I have never taken this, and I will never take this. I don't see value in that almost at all. I'm sure there's very good reasons why that's like a very, very good item, but for me, it's just not shiny, or you know, it doesn't have that, you know, kind of playful utility that I value in cybernetics. So I will probably never take anchor spikes unless someone gives me a very good example case for why it would be useful. You're welcome to at me in the comments if you want, by the way, if you do so respectfully. Next up, we've got anomaly fumigator. You emit clouds of normality gas every turn. I believe I have taken this, but I don't remember doing so. But in any case, I would rank that. I'd say that's an A. I think that's a very useful. That's a very useful one, especially if you are up against like mental mutants at all. or if you're like very deep underground, especially like if you found this early enough and you know, managed to equip it before you went to Grit Gate, I would value that. I think that's pretty good. What else? I just want to make sure I read the whole thing here. Nah. Oh, compute power on the local lattice increases this item's effectiveness. Okay, that's probably going to be the case for a lot of these. Next up is Beautiful Visage, +2 ego. That's it. +2 ego. I would rate this actually lower on the Cybernetics scale. The reason being is I don't think that ego is as useful on Truekin as it is for mental mutants. I thought that maybe Beautiful Visage would also give you faction reputation, but it doesn't seem to. And the face slot can be useful for other things. I am going to be trying to take into consideration the slot that these Cybernetics are exclusive to, because that does come into play a little bit. The face slot is a difficult one to fill. So +2 ego, honestly, if I found this early enough, I would take it, and therefore I have taken it, because +2 ego still gives you a benefit towards buying and selling things. There's other minor things that ego helps with, but that's basically it as far as I can remember. So, you know, not actually worthless, but not my favorite for sure. Biodynamic power plant. If this is the one I think it is, yeah, this one is an S tier for sure. Almost like must take. I would move planets to get that cybernetic. I would absolutely go out of my way to get that item. Being able to power your items, like I go out of my way almost in every run to get the ability to modify jacks onto parts or guns and any number of powered items. This item is so insanely good that I like exclusively spend it's probably half the reason I put so many points into intelligence and take tinkering is for cybernetics like this. If you're not aware, this one allows you to basically power your objects so long as they have the jacked modifier, and it's just insanely good. Apparently it stacks with power supplied by electrical generation. Didn't know that. There might be some spoilers in this, by the way. I sure hope I don't have to. Yeah, I'm just gonna close my window. Give me 1 second. Sorry, cats. Cats were enjoying the outdoors, but you know what? Construction, it just never ends. Next up, Bionic Arm. Let's have a look at Bionic Arm. I'm gonna have to remind myself what these do because I haven't used them. Oh, +2 strength. That's an A tier. I definitely like that. I don't think +2 strength is necessarily the best thing you can do with the arm slot, but it's pretty good. So I like the Bionic Arm. Really, there's enough said there, I think. Bionic Hands. +2 agility. Again, I think that it's the hands, so nice thing about these two guys is that they stack. You can stack them, arms and hands, you know. Bionic Heart. +2 toughness. Again, I'd actually lower. I would put that lower a little bit because it's the body slot. There's some really good stuff you can do with the body slot, and I think that +2 toughness is on the less interesting end. I'm not going to say less useful, I'm going to say less interesting. And that is, for me, part of why I like cybernetics, is because they are interesting and not just because they can win you the game. I do opt to, what's the word? I prefer toys over optimization. I am not one for optimization. I think optimization is actually very boring. I don't just want to win a game, and this goes for other games other than Caves of Cud, but I don't just want to win a game. I want to have fun, and so I will tend to value utility over things that are just going to give me a stat bonus. That being said, I like a stat bonus too. Bigger number better is always fun too. So But anyway, I have clearly taken this. I think if I haven't taken this, I would take it if I had no better option for the body slot. So next up, we've got Bionic Liver. I'm pretty sure I would take this. You are immune to poison and disease. Again, it's the body slot. Poison and disease, it's nice. I would rank that higher than the Bionic Heart. I would definitely take this and I would use it if I hadn't gone to Golgotha yet. So like if I'm on my way to Golgotha and I get that, I would be very, very happy to get that. And then I would probably promptly uninstall it after I've gotten whatever I need to get from Golgotha. So, there you go. Bionic Liver. Not bad. Again, I think there are more interesting things for the body slot, but it's not bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and put any hand bones in the S tier. And yes, all of them. Maybe I would rate full rate lower, slightly lower. Hear me out. There's 2 hand bones. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. There's 2 hand bones that matter the most, in my opinion. Again, in my opinion. Carbide hand bones and crysteel hand bones. Reason being, carbide hand bones in the early game are amazing. They are so good. They can carry you through the early game, straight through to the mid game, and possibly to the late game. They can carry you so far that you basically don't have to care about full rate. Full rate is good if you can't find crysteel. They are definitely an upgrade from carbide, but the upgrade is like, I think it's just the damage. It doesn't have anything to do with the penetration. But the penetration is basically just fueling damage. So full rate is an upgrade for sure. Don't get me wrong, but it only matters if you can't find crysteel. So like, and the thing is the other thing is full rate, I believe takes more license points. I'm just going to go ahead and look this up right now real quick. Carbide is 2 license point, crysteel is 8 license point, and then full rate, can't find it, 4 license points. So you know what, I do think that the full rate is a benefit. It's only twice the cost of the carbide hand bones. So I guess like at that point I might put it on S tier. The license points do kind of come into it because only a 2-point up cost is getting you a nice sizable upgrade, and then 8 license points is kind of difficult to achieve with crysteel. But for me, like if you're going carbide hand bones, or if you're going hand bones at all, you're gonna want crysteel hand bones. There's just no question. That's 100% the run. It's the maximum damage you can get for your specific build. So I like the full rate. I just don't think they matter as much as an upgrade to crysteel, and I don't think that they're maybe necessarily as like obtainable early game. Like I don't think you can't take carbide or full rate hand bones as a starter cybernetic. For one thing, they're almost just as hard to obtain, just as hard to find as crysteel. So I guess if I had carbide and I picking between the two, like full rate or crysteel, I would always prefer to find crysteel. So I rank full rate slightly lower. But yeah, those are all like very, very good. I'm always happy to see these when I'm playing Truekin. Now these are pretty interesting. I haven't actually ever used any of the Cathedras, but I'm gonna go ahead and rank them because they're very, very specific. Like these are high tier cybernetics. They are very rare. They are like insanely high cost. They're 12 license points each. They all have a slightly different use case. I say slightly different, but they're actually all pretty high. Let me see here. I've actually never really used or like looked at these. So they all offer, spoilers, sorry here. They all offer move speed, hit points, carrying capacity, ego, and the ability to fly. They all give you that as a baseline. I believe. I'm just checking that to make sure. So like with just that, they're all amazing. Okay. Just as a baseline, that's amazing. They also all prevent you from wearing anything on your back. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. I've got a power supply failing on other computer and it's starting to rattle, so I have to go ahead and take care of that. They all have a slightly different effect, an extra bonus effect. So we've got on Cathedra with black opal tracery. I don't think there's a reason I should have to like go through all these. I think these are all S tier, even if I haven't taken them all. Like I don't think that, like, I wouldn't be sad to see any of these, right? These are just objectively very good items. They're worth the license points for sure. Like, they're just amazing items. I'm not sure why I would even have to justify myself taking those items. Straight up. Cherub Visage, if this is what I think it is. No, it's not. +1 ego. Just +1 ego. Well, in that case, I guess I would bump up. No, I'm just gonna shove it here. Again, +1 ego. Oh, I see. It's funny that the bias on the wiki says it has the identical effect to the beautiful visage, but is superior in that it has a lower license point cost. I don't know if I would consider that superior, but okay. I guess it does cost 1/3 of the same price as the beautiful visage, so sure. Not for me. Not what I like. Communications interlock. You rebuke robots as if you were 5 levels higher. I would rank. I don't think I've ever taken this, to be honest. But I would take that. I would rank that an A if I had taken that, to be honest. Because to be fair, I haven't really done much with rebuking robots, but I've very recently come into the correct opinion that it is actually a very good ability and I should use it more. So I would rank that as an A, but I have never taken it, but I would take it. Custom Visage. If this is the one, this is the one? Is this the one? +300 reputation with the faction you choose at installation time. I would rank that quite high. In fact, I would even put that as an S tier, to be honest. For a face slot, that is a really, really good benefit. I still think that there are other good face slots, but I don't know yet, but that's a very good one. Dermal insulation. Plus heat resistance. These are ones you can stack, so you can actually they go on your body, head, and back. I like that a lot. I would put other things above it. Like if I found other things, and I've already been to Bethesda Susa and other places. I mean, resistance is great, but there's definitely other things I care about. And then we have dermal plating, and this is +1 AV. So I would rank that quite high. I actually would rank that higher than the other one. What is the other one called again? Dermal insulation. I think they're both pretty much on the same tier. Resistance or AV, I'm probably always going to go for AV, because getting punched and for less damage, you know, it helps a lot. But if I'm being honest, I'd probably rank the plating higher. Then we have dopamine synth. Dopamine synth +2 willpower. I would rank this higher. This is a head slot. I would rank this an A. +2 willpower for a Trukin is much better than ego. It is a head slot though, no, not a face slot. So that's worth considering. There's actually some really decent things you can put in the head slot. So I don't know. I do take that into consideration. Electromagnetic sensor. If this is what I think it is, you can put this anywhere, and this allows you to detect robots without seeing them. I put that in A. I think that's really, really decent. I definitely like to be able to sense robots. Robots are, I think, some of the like nastiest enemies to come across. And as a Truekin, I think you care more about knowing where robots are so that you can potentially rebuke them or become friends with them. So, you know, that matters. Equipment rack. Equipment rack I have kind of mixed feelings about. You get an additional back equipment slot. It is really good. I think there are better things for the back slot, but I'm gonna go ahead and rank it A anyway. I think it's very decent. I don't think it's like amazing, but I definitely would take it, and I'm happy to see it. Fire suppression system, I don't think I have to look this up, but I always like to make sure, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this basically means that that you can't be on fire. Implanted with pure gel, whenever they begin burning, and will continue. Yeah, so it makes sure that you're never on fire. I don't think I've ever used this, but I think I would take it. I think I like that ability, but I definitely don't. Like, I also haven't taken it, so maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe I just always have better things. It goes on the head and body and back, and those are fairly valuable slots. Head and body particularly I tend to reserve for other things. So, you know, I don't know. Force modulator, you can walk through force fields. I don't, there's really not a lot of cases where that's useful as far as I'm concerned. I don't value that at all. But there might be very good reasons to take that. Let's see, giant hands. You can wield two-handed weapons in one hand. I actually quite like this one. I have definitely taken this, and I've definitely valued it. I've lost my spot here. Okay, here we go. So I would rank this as an A. It goes in your hands. I've definitely taken it, and it's quite nice. You can even dual wield two-handed weapons, which is just like, really, that's just badass. So I really like that. Grafted mirror arm. I don't think I've ever seen this. You gain an extra thrown weapon slot. When you perform a throw, you throw from all your thrown weapons. That's amazing. I would absolutely take that. I have never seen that item, but I would take that. Can you imagine having two geomagnetic discs and throwing them both out at once? That would be amazing. Grounding shunts, extra electric resistance. These go in your feet. I don't think I've taken this, and I don't think I ever would. Hear me out. I think that it's good. I guess I would take it. I would take it if I had nothing for my feet. There's actually not a lot of things you can put in your feet, so that electric resistance is definitely one of the better resistances. I would value that over a lot of the other resistances. So never mind, I would take it. There's not a lot of feet slots that you can fill, so yeah, I would take that. I would use it. Gun rack. A gun rack's a tricky one. You gain an additional left and right missile weapon slot. You cannot wear equipment on your back. This goes on your back. Losing a back slot for that is kind of a blow, but I don't think I would put this as an S tier. I understand gun rack is amazing. For me personally, I don't think that I would rank it as an S. I feel like I have to rank it as an S. Can be combined with giant hands to allow wielding up to 4 non-pistol missile weapons. All right, fine. Gun rack is amazing. I have to rank, if I'm gonna rank giant hands as high as A, I feel like I have to rank gun rack higher slightly. I do like it. It's quite nice. High fidelity matter recompositor. You teleport to any explored space on the map. It's a body item. I'm not gonna give this an S tier. It's quite high. It is quite high. If I had something between A and S, I would probably put it there. I do like that a lot. Teleport is obviously like highly valuable, but this is a body slot, and again, I kind of value the body slot for other things. I might switch things around once I have fully, you know, slotted everything. And we have high grade dermal insulation. I think that is probably worth an S tier. This is This can go in your body, head, and back. Actually, I don't know. I guess I would put it in S. The thing is, like, you have to consider license points into this a little bit. The high grade dermal insulation is 3 points to install versus the dermal insulation, which is 2. So it's really not that much of a upsell from normal dermal. The fact that it goes in body, head, and back, I wish that you could put it in other slots as well. If you could put it in other slots as well, then it would be nice. Back slot, I think that you can hardly do better than having, like, just giving yourself resistance to a lot of element effects. So I think that that's actually quite good. I don't think it's S tier worthy, so I'll put it there. Holographic visage. If this is, oh my god, I hate interfaces so much. I'm trying to. Okay, plus 200 reputation with the faction you choose when you install this implant. You can activate this implant to change the chosen faction. I didn't even know that this was a thing, to be honest. I already ranked this visage to be quite high. So the fact that there's a visage that you can change on the fly, I would rank this as an S, and I would also rank this as an S. Holographic visage costs 6 points versus the custom visage, which is 3. For 3 points, having plus 200 reputation is quite good. For a face slot, I mean, faction reputation is just amazing. So I would just, you know, I would rank these both up. Obviously, the holographic visage is better, 100%, not an argument. But I still rank custom visage as quite high because I always care about that faction reputation, and I'm always going to take faction reputation, which is difficult to obtain. So things like robots, you know, goat folk, maybe. So I think they're both pretty good. Having one you can swap around is quite good. It means that you can definitely do some things that you wouldn't normally do, and you'll make friends with people you wouldn't normally make friends with. Very stupidly valuable. So hyper elastic ankle tendons. I believe I understand what these do, but let me, move speed. Move speed is just amazing. I always value move speed, A tier. Feet, giving yourself move speed 4 feet is quite good. So I definitely feel like I have taken that, and I value that. I think that that's great. I have now 100% messed up my screen here. Inflatable accents, you gain plus 40 quickness for 10 rounds, then you become sluggish. I don't think I've taken this, and I don't think I would. You'd think that I would value this item a lot, but here's my problem with it. I can't remember when, you know, what is an optimal moment to use an item like that. 10 rounds is not enough to really see a lot of combats through, and then becoming sluggish for 10 rounds, -10 quickness kind of sucks. Plus 40 quickness is quite good. I think that actually means if it's 10 rounds, that means you're actually getting a lot of extra moves per round. So it wouldn't feel like 10 rounds. It might feel like more like, I don't know, 20 rounds. But I am just not very good about using those too good to use abilities, especially if they come with a, you know, bad thing afterwards. Things like using Hulk Honey, for instance, I'm very, very bad about. And in fact, they've even gotten me killed. So I tend to undervalue abilities with a post ability defect. So I don't think I would ever take it. Sorry to fans of inflatable accents. Intravenous port, if this is what I think it is, I value it very highly. The effects of tonics last twice as long. I think this is an S tier. And one of the reasons it's an S tier is you can put it in any slot. So a slot like feet, for instance, like that's even better than move speed as far as I'm concerned, because, you know, having a couple of extra rounds of healing, for instance, with salves, amazing. Highly value that. See what's next. Magnetic core. Yes. Gain an additional floating nearby slot. Now, I'm going to put this as an S, and that might seem, again, S tier does not necessarily mean it's on par with things like these Cathedras. It's not. Obviously, these are not, it's not an even playing field. However, the way I kind of look at cybernetics is if I saw that cybernetic not having anything else for that slot, how good would I feel? And I would feel pretty good. Obviously, like if I had magnetic core and I found like a gun rack, I would probably trade it, right? But magnetic core having an additional floating nearby equipment slot, there's just so many hijinks you can get up to with that. There's so many hijinks. It's just such a ridiculously valuable thing. I really appreciate that. And I would even like trade other things for it. I would take debuffs for that. So you know, just a ridiculously good cybernetic. Matter recompositor. You teleport to a random explored space on the map. I actually value that quite high. I put that on A. Now that seems weird because now it's on the same playing field as the other one, the matter high fidelity matter recompositor. The reasons are this. The high fidelity matter recompositor is 8 license points. It can only be put in the body slot. So you kind of have to sacrifice a pretty good slot to use it. And like having teleport is a great ability, don't get me wrong, but I kind of really appreciate a cheap alternative with random kind of RNG flavor added on top. Matter recompositor is 3 license points. Yes, you still have to use the body slot. That still kind of sucks, of course, but like it's a three license points, meaning like if I found this cybernetic with no body slot and basically nothing else going on, I could use it right away. Almost guaranteed I could use it very quickly after I found it. So like it's not a big sacrifice, and it is still a fun kind of panic button, and it still means that there's some interesting hijinks available. The high fidelity one is a bit of an ask, and it means that you have to kind of like plan around it, and it's now officially part of your build, and now you have to consider it as part of some kind of like higher brained like optimization thing. Like you have to plan when you're going to use it, you have to consider it as part of your options, and you also have to, you know, quite a lot of license points for it. So I actually, in a weird way, kind of consider it lower than the matter recompositor. Hope that makes sense. Probably doesn't to a lot of people, but that's fine. Metasist module. Current loadout, no injectors. Reduces the action cost of applying injectors. Can be loaded up with 8 injectors, which the Metasist module AI will automatically apply when appropriate. I don't think I've ever taken this. If I have taken it, I would consider that B tier, and the reason being is it's too fiddly, way too fiddly. It might be amazing, but to be honest, I don't use a lot of tonics. I use the salve. I'll use the skulk, maybe. I will use the shade oil, maybe. Like a lot of them are maybes. The Hulk honey injector, maybe. Uber Nostrum if I'm like desperate. Sphinx salt injector, maybe. Like all of them are kind of maybes. I end up cooking with tonics more often than not, and so this ability to like load up with 8 injectors. Now to be fair, I could load it up with 8 salves, and so then I don't have to worry about salves, you know, but you can only use 1 salve at a time, really. At no action cost, that's the nice part. So like, you know, having it automatically hit you with a salve when you need it, yeah, that's nice for sure. You can put this in your arm, back, or body, so it's a pretty good arm slot. Maybe I'm selling myself on it, honestly, and it's only 3 license points. Still, I guess I would take it. I would take it, and I would use it, but I don't know if I would value it as much as other things. I just think it's too fiddly. I don't like these ones where you have to kind of like 3 license points. You know what? Fine. A tier. B tier are like ones I've maybe used once when I have no other options. A tier is like I would use it. And I might even sacrifice something else for it. But like, you know, given the choice between Metasys module and like even Bionic arm, I don't think I would use it. Back and body, again, I kind of value those for other things. Back is a difficult slot to fill, but there's really, really good cybernetics that can fill it. So I tend to value it. Micro manipulator array. You can tinker and repair in combat at the action cost of 1 turn. Reduces the action cost of other tinker skills by 40%. Grant a bonus to identifying artifacts as if your intelligence score were increased. Hands. Yeah. Since I go in hands, I kind of like that. I think that's... They're 5 license points, which actually kind of bumps them down a bit. They'd be between like A and B. I should have probably had more slots here. I could add more, I suppose. Can I add one here? Add row below. I don't know. I think this is good. Keep it simple. It's kind of an A. It's almost barely an A. I like it. Only honestly because it's I mean it's 5 license points, which is quite high. But it filling a hand slot, there's not a lot of great hand slot cybernetics as I recall. There might be some. There might be some really good ones. But I think I like tinkering, so I would probably tend to favor that for tinkering. So now motorized treads, feet. Here's my hot take. I know this thing is plus 150 move speed. It's only 4 license points. Implant can't be uninstalled. I know you can equip armor on this thing. I understand that. You can equip tread guards on it. I have never taken these. 150 move speed is absurd. I would take it, but with many asterisks. Many. I think it's a weird one. I think it's weird for a number of reasons. The fact that you can't have... wait a minute. How much does the tread guards add for AV? 2? Okay, that's not bad. I guess I would take it. I probably would even rank these high. I've never taken the treads because they feel like a huge ask. I don't know why it is, but I just never... I don't like the idea of like dismembering half my character's body for the sake of having tank treads. It's almost an aesthetic thing. I don't know if I ever would do it, but I do rank move speed as like one of the most important stats in the game. So and the fact that you can actually wear armor plus 2 AV to footwear is actually very decent. I think the best you can do for AV is like 4 with the flawless crystal boots, so that's not bad. Having 2 AV, like it's better than having hooks for feet because you can have literally any armor on your treads. So I guess I would rank it quite high if I had ever taken them, if I had ever used them. And actually, was it 4 license points is pretty decent for that. But I've just never used them. I don't know why. I don't know why the circumstances just never called for it. So, but I would take them. Navigational system. Your chance of becoming lost in ruins is reduced by 30%. Your chance of becoming lost in other terrain is reduced by 10%. These effects do not stack with the bonuses of a compass bracelet. B. I just think that since wayfaring exists, there's almost no reason to take this. The fact that it's very specific to ruins, it almost makes it completely worthless. The fact that it's only a 30% chance in ruins is almost completely worthless. 10% chance and it doesn't stack with compass bracelet. That means the compass bracelet basically is better than this because you just slap it on your arm. This thing can go in any part, any slot, except for back. No, back as well. Something is missing here. Oh, you can't put it on your feet. That makes sense. You can't put this on your feet. It does only cost 1 license point, but I value the slot more than the cheap cost of it, so I'm afraid I rank it quite low. Night vision, S tier. S tier, I would definitely take night vision out for other things. It only goes in your face. However, night vision is just like actually necessary for some things. Like I'm thinking mostly for fighting, a redacted in the Bethesda Susa ruins. Or fighting and or making friends with. So I rank night vision to be very high. It's superior night vision. It's the best form of vision in the game as far as I recall. Better than the mutation, better than any light source. So wearing night vision means that you can wear other things in your floating point slot, which is very good because you can have a second floating point slot. And I have, in my experience, a lot of the relics and historic items you get from historic sites have a tendency, they can be floating points, and they have a tendency to not cast light. So, if you've played the game a few times and you've come across a lot of like historic site items that are floating point, then you find yourself in a situation where like, hey, now I can't see and I don't have a floating glow sphere, and that all sucks, but this thing has like +2 to strength or +400 reputation to X, Y, and Z faction, whatever. All of these fun effects that I can't take advantage of because I need to see. So now I'm back to using a torch or holding a glow sphere, and it just kind of sucks. Night vision takes care of all of that, and it's just amazing for that. So I really like night vision. Nocturnal Apex. +10% to natural healing rate during the day. Once per night, you can prowl, gaining +6 agility and +10 move speed. I should rank this high. It's 2 license points. I should rank that. +10 move speed for 100 rounds. That's actually kind of insane. But it's a head slot, and I don't even know if I've ever taken it, but if I had taken it, I would rank it quite low. I just don't... I don't like abilities like that. The fact that I have to keep an eye on what time of day it is, the fact that I have to, it's like a once per thing. Natural healing rate during the day is nice. I don't like things that are like circumstantial to times of day. I just don't like having to keep an eye on that. I guess the thing is like, hypocritically right now, I can't optimize around that. I can't be really certain when it's going to be valuable, how it's going to be valuable at the point that I need it. If I had anything, if I had nothing in my head slot, I suppose I would wear it since it's only 2 license points. I would try it. I would have fun with it maybe, but I would certainly replace it in a heartbeat with anything else that takes the head slot basically. Onboard recoiler, S tier. I don't even know if I have to explain that one. Onboard recoiler, amazing. It can go in any slot, 4 license points. Is it reprogrammable? You can imprint it. It's just an incredible item. Yes, you could replace it with an actual reprogrammable recoiler and then tinker those. However, the reprogrammable recoilers that you tinker are very expensive. They tend to be extremely expensive. So they're not necessarily a decent replacement, the onboard recoiler, and also they're very rare. It's very difficult to get to the point where you can tinker up reprogrammable recoilers. So I actually quite highly value the onboard recoiler if you have nothing else. If you have no alternative, it's quite good. So now we have a bunch of scanners here. I only recently came into understanding the value of the optical bioscanner. You gain access to the precise hit points value and dodge values of biological creatures. I guess I'd rank that an A. Let me go through these to make sure. Optical multi-scanner, if this is the one I'm thinking of. You automatically identify artifacts, staircases, and other up-down map transitions are always real. Yeah, so this one's an A. Bioscanner's an A. Optical multi-scanner is an S. It does go only in your face, but it's a very good S or face slot item. So, and then optical techno scanner. Precise hit points, armor, dodge value, and you automatically identify artifacts. Also an A. Hard to explain the minor differences between all of these. Let me just say optical bioscanner. I guess that one, if I was gonna move one, this would be a B tier. Since they all take the face slot, this is the order in which I think they matter. So, whoops, what did I just close? Okay, never mind, we're good. Palladium electrode deposits. Provides 20 units of compute power on the local lattice, plus 2 intelligence if implanted in a head. Destroyed when uninstalled. I have never taken this item, and I actually don't know if I would use it. I straight up do not understand how compute on power on the local lattice works. And I have asked literal developers of Caves of Cud to explain it to me. They have explained it to me very articulately. I still don't understand. I still don't understand. I almost don't want to rank this one because I should do a run where I just do figure out compute power on the local lattice, figure it out, and actually understand how it works so that I can value it correctly. So I guess I've never taken it, but I would take it because I've literally just said that I will take it. So I don't even know if I've seen this one. I don't think I've ever seen palladium electrode deposit. I don't recognize it at all. So parabolic muscle subroutine. Your throw range is increased by 2. When you throw something at a target inside your throw range, your throwing accuracy was 100%. A tier, love that. I appreciate that a lot, actually. You might question it. It's only 2 license points, goes in the arm. I think that actually synergizes with what's the one? 2 throwing slots. I'm not sure where that one was, but yeah, I'm not sure where 2 throwing slots is, but I rank that high. Penetrating radar. Gain total visibility in a radius of 10 spaces around you, blocked only by force fields and space-time anomalies. It can go in any slot except for feet, of course. 6 license points. I don't think I've ever taken this, and I would take it. I think other things replace it. Apparently, compute power on the local lattice increases this item's range. So I believe that means that if I had this item and this item, it would increase its range from 10 to more. I'm not sure how much more. Increased based on the available compute power. Every 10 units of compute power increases radius by 1 square. See, that doesn't sound very good to me. That means that this item would increase its radius to 12. I guess by doing this ranking, I'm now starting to understand how compute on the local lattice works. So that's nice. Pentaceps, S tier. Pentaceps. Do I have to explain to you why pentaceps are so good? Charge range is increased by 4 spaces. It goes in your feet. Feet slots are difficult to fill with anything like super valuable. Plus 4 charge spaces is amazing. I love it. I love it. It sounds like nothing, but it's amazing. I love it. Freaking love pentaceps. It's not just a meme. It's a wonderful, wonderful cybernetic. I love it. Phase harmonic modulator. You can interact with both in-phase and out-of-phase objects and creatures. Wait, where is that? Why is that here? I missed one. Did I miss one? Oh no, somehow these got swapped around. I don't think I've ever taken it, and I don't think I ever will. I don't think I'll ever take that. There's a very specific reason for that. I actually think interacting with out-of-phase objects and creatures is bad. That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing, though. I don't think I want to. That would mean that astral tabbies are now aggressive to you and can attack you. The only thing that might be valuable is now you can kill the phase spider in Bethesda Susa. Do you want to? Do you really feel like you need to do that in that specific way? Sure, I suppose if you want to. I just don't think that is very valuable. There might be a very, very, very specific use case in which that is valuable, but I don't see it, so I don't think I would ever take it. Phase adaptive scope. Is this what, when you fire a missile weapon or throw something, your projectile shifts phase to pass through obstacles and reach your target? That is interesting. I don't think I've ever taken that, but I would take it. I would take it. It goes in your back and it's 4 license points, so it's actually quite expensive, but I would contrive a run and build to incorporate that item because I think that it is interesting, and like I said, I like a toy, you know? I enjoy toys. Pneumatic pistons. Your jump range is increased by 4 spaces. I would almost rank this to be S tier, to be honest. I don't know if I've ever taken that, to be honest, but I would take it. I would take it and I would rank it quite high. So either put it in have never but would take, or A tier, because that's almost a pentaceps right there. In fact, that is kind of a pentaceps right away. I think charge is better with four extra spaces. Combat ability is better in some ways over utility, but jump is also a tactical ability, so you know. Precision force lathe. Oh god, this is a lot. You fabricate force knives in unoccupied hand or thrown weapon slots. If you throw a force knife, another one immediately materializes in your thrown weapon slot. Force knives deal 1d8 damage and have penetration value equal to their target's armor value and have plus 6 from it. I've never taken this, but I would take it. I would 100% take that. I would 100% use that. It's 4 license points. It goes in head, arm, body, back. I think the only thing that sucks about this one is I'm not sure if it synergizes with the other throwing item slot item. Not sure which one that was. I'd have to find it again. But it seems cool. You could contrive a run around that, and I think that's fun. So, you know. Rapid release finger flexors. You fire pistols 25% faster. I think I have used it. I like it. I don't love it. I definitely would use it if I was doing a pistol run. My pistol runs have been very rare. I actually never tend to use pistols, but I like that. That could be a lot of fun. I might even rank it higher if I was doing a pistol run. I don't know. It's a divide. It's almost an A for me, but you know, the low license point cost it does a lot for it. Reactive cranial plating. You cannot be dazed or stunned by kinetic effects. A tier. It goes in the head slot. There's better things you can put in the head slot for sure, but not being able to get stun killed, very good. Almost an S tier. Almost an S tier. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in S tier. I think that is very valuable. It's very specific and circumstantial, but it would actually stop you from getting killed in some circumstances. So I don't know why that. You know, that it's gonna save your life. So, reactive trauma plate neutralizes one damage source that would cause a lethal amount of damage or deal at least 50% of your max HP. This implant is destroyed on the process. I don't think I've ever taken that, but I would take it, and I guess I would use it. It goes in the body. I value the body slot, so I don't know. I don't know if I would use it. It's one of those things, because it gets destroyed on use. Do you get the license points back? I have to assume you do. So the next ones are Schemsoft. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the Schemsoft in like have never and would never. Please hear me out. Let me just make sure. Okay, so there's 3 different Schemsoft: high tier, low tier, and mid tier. Let me just look at the high tier one. What is the best I could ever hope for a Schemsoft? You gain access to every schematic for a single class of artifacts. I just don't value that at all. I'm sorry. I don't value that. The reason being is that if I have the ability to tinker, and I generally do, I am going to acquire those anyway. Like, I think the best case scenario for something like a Schemsoft would be to gain access to reprogrammable recoilers or something like that, something very, or spiral borers, something very use case that I tend to value. But my runs are almost always going to orbit the search for those, and so therefore getting a cybernetic that takes up an entire slot that I now need to rely on in order to use those or to tinker those items that I could replace with almost anything else that would give me combat abilities, I just don't value it. I'm sorry, it's not for me. Similarly for Skillsoft, but we're gonna get to that. I value them higher than the Schemsoft, or Schemasoft, I should say. Security interlock, I actually kind of like. You can unlock any door. Not having to find a military card is kind of nice. You can put it in any slot, so it's kind of nice. I like it. You could fill a slot that is difficult to fill, something like feet, or even face if you don't have anything else. And you know, it means that like it's only 3 license points. You could possibly use it to cheese Golgotha if you're so inclined, or even a little bit of Bethesda Susa. You could skip the the part in the beginning. So there's some hijinks that you can get up to with security interlock that I appreciate. Skillsoft. So here's the thing about Skillsoft. Skillsoft can be okay. You gain a skill whose cost is greater than 150. Oh, just a skill? This is high SP. Did they change Skillsofts? Oh no. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Any Skillsoft that is just a skill, one specific skill, garbage. 100% selling that right away. Don't ever use it. I'm never going to use it. If it's a skill I want, I'm going to take that skill, and I'm going to value that head slot over any skill that would have given me. I might just be wrong here. You can say I'm wrong, that's fine. I just don't think that there's any circumstance in which I could get a skill from my head slot item or head slot cybernetic that I wouldn't just want to take normally, like just spend the skill points on it if it's really important. I just don't like that. However, Skillsoft Plus is an A tier. Skillsoft Plus is an entire skill tree, as I understand it. Let me see here. Yeah, you gain access to a whole skill tree. Opens doors. That opens doors that you might not normally open. Like in a run that you might not have normally taken dual wielding, in a run that you might not have taken all of the pistol skills or something like that. It opens doors that you wouldn't normally open. It's still a head slot, and that one's 8 license points, so it's kind of a huge ask as well. Honestly, kind of a B tier. Kind of It's between these two, but I still like that because there are hijinks you can get up to, and there are doors that it opens that I don't think that the Skillsoft itself opens. So there's 2 skin glitters. Apparently one goes in like almost any slot, and then the other one just goes in back and body slot. I think skin glitters A tier, potentially reflecting light-based attacks is quite nice. 10% or 16% chance to refract light-based attacks, and then the other one is what? So that is the 2 license points, and then the other one, are they both the same? Whoops, I'm opening the same one twice. And then the other one is 8% chance. Now I do believe that they do stack. Skin glitter, the 1 license points is refract, and then the other one is reflect. So they're both refract, they're not reflect. And that is very specific. It means that you're not reflecting back to the attacker, so that matters. You could put them in a lot of slots and have that stack a bit. I think it's nice. It's maybe a B tier, but I have definitely taken skin glitter when I have nothing else, and because it occupies many different slots, I think that is actually quite valuable. Social co-processor. Is this what I think it is? Whenever you perform the water ritual with a new creature, you gain an extra 25 reputation. If you install this implant after you treat with a creature for the first time, you gain 25 reputation the next time you treat with them. Reputation costs in the water ritual are reduced by 20%. You may proselytize one additional creature. Compute power on the local lattice increases. I think that's an S tier. It only goes in the head, but it's one of those things. It's one of those cybernetics I'm going to uninstall things in my head to take. I think it's very good. It's just a very, very decent cybernetic. It definitely changes the game somewhat. It definitely helps a lot with faction reputation. Just very good. Stabilizer arm locks. For the purpose of determining your accuracy with ranged attacks, your agility is treated as if it was 6 points higher. A tier, maybe B tier. Like, I guess I would put it on the same one as flexi fingers, whatever they're called. I like it. I don't love it. I think there are better things, but I like it. I guess I should, like, part of the problem here is that if I was going to go through like every single arm cybernetic and then determine which one I prefer over others, then it's hard to say, because like I don't have a game open in front of me, right? Like I don't have, like, if I had bionic arm, would I take stabilizer arm locks over it? I don't know if I would. It really depends. Is it an agility based run or is it a strength based run? Am I bump attacking critters, or am I shooting them with my pistols? So it really is a use case thing, but I like this. I think that this is fine. I guess if I had a rifle, I guess maybe it's an A tier, because I think it's more, since it's specific to ranged attacks and not to like rifle or pistol. I think it's quite good in that sense. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Getting to the bottom here. Stasis Entangler. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. You choose one creature in line of sight. All other creatures are put into stasis field for 15 rounds. Goes in feet, back, body. Since it's feet, that makes it very interesting. I would definitely take and use that. That's an interesting one. And then Stasis Projector. Create up to 6 contiguous squares of stasis field that last for about 5 rounds. Sure, I would take that. I have never taken that. I have never seen it. I don't know if I've ever seen it. I would take it though. Hydrojets, I have never taken it and I will never take it. I should take it, like swimming, like if I... Alright, if I had literally nothing else, since it's a feet cybernetic, I may have even taken it. I would put it in B tier though. If I had nothing in my feet slots, I would take it and I would use it. I've probably taken it and used it. But, like 200 move speed while swimming is actually good. It is actually good because when you're moving, like when you are in liquids, you are at such a disadvantage. So like having an advantage in the water, which is more common than you think, is actually quite good. So it's probably an A tier for a lot of people, but I just don't. I don't like, since it is circumstantial or context based like that. I don't know if I would use it as much as other things. But I should value it higher. I think that is a good one. Translucent skin. I rank both of these on A tier. In any kind of DV build, I value translucent skin. Obviously, I would trade up. Transparent skin? I would trade translucent skin for transparent skin. Transparent skin is a higher license points cost, but it's a higher DV bonus. I don't do DV builds very often anymore. In fact, I've only really done it once. So, but since like here's the it's difficult to rank these fairly, right? In any context where I'm doing a normal build in Caves of Cud and I'm not favoring DV very highly, I would probably not use either translucent or transparent skin. But in a DV build, I would highly rank them. I would put them on over other things. For the back slot, for sure, like I think that's quite valuable. So, and then finally, ultra elastic ankle tendons, plus 10 move speed. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in S tier. It's the better version of this one. It's a feet slot, move speed. It's a move speed, I think, is one of the most important stats in the game, for sure. It's just so incredibly good. It basically means you don't need a panic button. A lot of creatures that are mostly dangerous, you know, at melee range can just be walked away from with enough movement speed, and then you can basically just, you know, like you've got the high ground, you just shoot them until they're dead. Like a lot of slimes, a lot of robots, not all robots, obviously. Anything that's ranged, obviously, you know, move speed is not the end all be all, but then again, that kind of is as well, because the best attack or the best strategy for a ranged user in Caves of Cud is to just find cover and force them into melee range. What's the best way to find cover? Just walk away. Just find something to stand behind, and then move speed is going to help with that. So even against ranged users, move speed is just amazing. So yeah, I highly value move speed, and for that I should probably value treads. I have not yet done a run where treads have been you know, the crux, but I should value it. And with that, that's all of the cybernetics ranked. I could have been a bit more granular about this, obviously, but I think because of the way things sifted out, you know, I don't have everything in S tier. I don't have everything in A tier. I have a couple of B tiers. I think that this is a good spread, so I'm pretty happy with the way I ranked things. I don't think that everything is on an even playing field in Caves of Cud when it comes to cybernetics or mutations, but that's why you have to take cost into consideration. And even with cost, I think that some things are just meant to be better than other things, and that's good. You know, that means that you have you feel good when you find one thing versus another thing. I mean, I think that creates decision making for the player, that creates agency. So I think that that's a good thing, and I wouldn't take any cybernetic out of the game, not even Skillsoft, because at the end of the day, I still value circumstances in which I find Skillsoft, because it's a cybernetic that I don't want to take. And believe it or not, I do value that part of Caves of Cud, of any game. I think that it's important to have items that you don't want to take, because it means that you are more, I don't know, excited, happy. You get a bigger dopamine hit when you do find the cybernetic that you do want. If you have cybernetics where you're just trying to like find that specific one every single game, then it's not very interesting, in my opinion. If you find cybernetics that are just all objectively good that you want to take, then things are boring. Cybernetics aren't interesting anymore. You get into the kind of the porridge, procedural generated porridge situation where like just everything is kind of boring and placid and whatever. So I really like the spread of cybernetics in Caves of Cud. It's part of why I enjoy playing Truekin. I used to play Truekin a lot more than I do now. I've been playing a lot more mutants, and so I don't get to use them as often, but I still really like cybernetics, and it 100% to me is why Truekin are still really fun to play. So look forward to me ranking every single mutation in Caves of Cud. That'll be coming out later this week, I hope. And thank you very much for watching this and for showing up to my charity stream, and for donating. If you did, you made this possible, and I had a lot of fun with this. Actually, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for watching this whole video. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. If you did enjoy this, definitely hit the like button. Consider subscribing for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.